Found ya. Hey folks, I am beside the woodshed, only I am propping my camera myself up on the side of the woodpile. And the only thing that's lighting me up right now is the motion sensor light. So if I keep moving, it'll stay on. But if it gets dark, I'll just wave my arms and it'll come back on. So there's I just put up a video. I had cleaned the ashes out of my stove, coals and everything. And a lot of you have been wanting me to show you how to make start a fire in a wood stove or whatnot. Now there's a challenge from way back when that asked me if I would join the challenge on starting an outside fire. I will be doing that. It's been a little crazy on this end, folks. But I also want to up that a little bit. I'll start a fire with everything dry. It's a set-up fire, basically, right? Everything is perfect. And I'll show how I do that. But I also want to up that up a little bit. Some of you are only in survival mode. And in a survival situation, probably more than likely, you don't have dry kindling. If the world falls down around you, you're out in the woods, you're lost, whatever. How you can start a fire with wet kindling and wet wood. Now, for some people, it's a challenge to even start a fire, get a fire going with everything. Dry kindling, dry wood, right? Paper, cardboard, as Amy, Off-Grid Amy 717 mentioned in her video just today or a few days ago. I'm behind on my videos, folks. I want to remind you folks that I work very, very, very long hours, 2 days a week. And it's a long time to get there travel-wise and a long time to come home. And then by the time I get home, I have to get my fire going for the night. I have to do my chores. I have to do all of that. So usually in the winter, I get about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of sleep before I do it all over again, and that ends my work week. Sometimes if I am at work and there's a storm, it's very slippery. Sometimes I don't even get home. I don't. Sometimes I get partway home, can't go on any further. That's happened a few times. Waiting for the sand truck to come through. And come home long enough to wash my face, change my clothes, restart my fire, and get ready and turn around and go right back in, right? Especially in the winter. So I don't even know where I was going with that. But for some reason, if you got to a point in your life for whatever circumstances and you had to start a fire out in the woods, and it's snowy, been snowing, rainy, been rainy, how you start a fire, or can you start a fire with what you can find around you? Now, let's just we're going to assume here that you don't carry any fire starting, flint and steel, or a torch, or anything like that. But if you happen to be a smoker and you have a lighter in your pocket, I know a lot of people who don't smoke carry lighters in their pocket all the time. It just goes right in their pocket from pants to pants to pants. So we're going to assume, and what I'm going to do this week, hopefully this week, is to assume that I've got a lighter in my pocket and I'm out in the woods and I need to start a fire. And there's already snow on the ground. Everything is wet already. So I'm going to show you if it's easy or if it's hard to start a fire out in the woods in the winter with snow on the ground with just a lighter. Some of you probably say, yeah, that's going to be pretty easy. Some of you say, no, it's just going to smolder. We'll see. We'll see. I have done it before. I have done it, and I'll show you how I do it. It wasn't an emergency. It was just like a challenge to myself. So I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying that I am proficient at it. I am saying I have done it before just for fun. Was I wet? Was it in a blizzard? Was it in pouring rain? No, it wasn't. I used a lighter and anything I could find to start a fire with out in the woods to build a small fire when everything was wet. So that's that. Hopefully that'll be done this week. I always have a lot of plans and a lot of things come up, right? There is type A flu on this camp road. So staying right away. I don't need that. I like staying healthy. I like being healthy. But when I get sick, I have everything that I need here. So I don't have to ask anyone to go run to the store and get me this or that. Always have enough wood in my house. So if I do get sick for a few days, then I've got a few days of burning wood. It's always good to prepare. You might get sick once every 10 years. That's about what I get sick, about once every 10 years, or maybe 8. And it's usually because I'm really run down, right? Which is very easy to do with this lifestyle, to get run down. That's why it's important to hydrate, to sleep when you can, rest when you need to, and nothing's in a hurry unless it's an emergency, right? So it's always good to be prepared, even if you never get sick. Well, you get sick at least once in your lifetime, I guarantee it. So, in my opinion, that's worth keeping stuff on hand in case you do get sick, right? So, there is that. I am super tired. I have not caught up on my sleep. I have not done anything physical whatsoever today. I still have firewood in there for probably half of this week. And I do have to think about gathering up some water, whether it's collecting snow and bringing it inside and melting it for the bird water. Chop some ice, bring that ice in buckets and melt it, chop a hole through the ice and haul water that way. The birds need water, so I'm going to have to deal with that unless we get rain, and it's not supposed to rain hard enough. If it gets warm enough, I can put all the buckets, which they are now. The empty ones are under all the eaves in the house, the front and the back of the house, and behind this woodshed here that I'm standing beside. So that's always a challenge in the wintertime. I know where I can get water for the birds. It's just not all that fast and quick, right? So, and I knew that when I started raising birds. I'm okay with it, right? I'm doing the work. They're my birds. No one should have a problem with that. I do take very good care of my birds. They have plenty of water, always. Plenty of food, always. I throw out cracked corn. I throw out all kinds of stuff for them that's healthy. Right now I am sprouting alfalfa, broccoli, and lentils for them, especially for the geese in the house. And I will give them to the birds because they like that greenery. Like I said, especially the geese. So is that needed? No. I just want to. They're a little spoiled. They really are. All right. I got to go, folks. Y'all be good. Bye-bye.